Happy effing Friday. It's your boy Debo with Debo's Picks. I want to recap last night's MLB plays real quick, as well as offer up my plays for tonight's MLB and NBA slate. So let's get it popping. Starting off with the MLB first, of course. Yesterday was opening day. I gave out a plethora of plays, and out of all those plays that I gave out, one of them was a sweep. It was a two-pick power play where we had Shane McClanahan going over his fan score up 31.5. Eventually got bumped up 32.5. For the life of me, I cannot understand how this prop bet hit the board at such a low number. It was literally like an unofficial Taco Tuesday discount offer. And we took full advantage of it, of course, and it paid off because we paired him up with Shohei Ohtani going over his fan score 45.5. Then I had a 6-player flex that I offered up in the comment section of my video, and it consisted of Jake DeGrom's strikeout prop bet getting discounted down to 6.5. Took the over on that. He finished with 7. Thank goodness he got those 7 strikeouts early because he didn't last long. I think he pitched like 3 1/3 or 3 2/3. So that was good. Then we had Max Scherzer going over his strikeout prop of 6. He ended up pushing, which bumped our 6-player flex down to a 5-player flex. We were still on the cusp of a sweep, but Tim Anderson quickly took care of that and prevented us from getting that sweep. So we ended up doubling our money, 25 in, 50 back. And on the other plays, that we hit on, it was chump change, or we just missed out on winning big. One of them being a 4-pick power play, which I'll put up on here as well. And it consisted of Shohei Ohtani's fantasy score, Shane McClanahan's fantasy score, Pete going under his fantasy score, and Ronald Acuna Jr. going over a half a run. And this one was tough to take because Acuna in the first inning got to third with 1 out, and he was left stranded there. Second inning, they batted around. He got to third again in scoring position, left stranded. And then towards the middle of the game, around 56th inning, he got to second base, scoring position, left stranded again. So the prop bet was definitely a really good one. It just didn't break our way, man. And that really, really sucked, man. But it is what it is. That's part of the game that we play, like I always say. And then, of course, like I said, we had other plays that completely missed out on because of Tim Anderson not going over his fantasy score. And that was probably my least favorite bet, actually, was Tim Anderson because it was a small sample size. It was 1 for 8 against Framber Valdez. But again, opening day, you got to go with the ace. So I tuned into the game because Tim Anderson was the only one left that was determining the outcome of our plays. And he had already gotten a double, I believe, in the third inning. So he had 5 points right off the bat. So he's a half a point from going over. And I kind of had a feeling, I'm like, all he has to do is get a walk or whatever. So what ends up happening, Framber Valdez didn't have a good game. He didn't have control of his pitches. And he ended up trying to just force him into the strike zone, which means they're laying it out over the plate, which means the hitters can get better pitches to hit. And Tim Anderson took full advantage of that. He's a good ball player. I just didn't expect him to do what he did. Obviously, I wouldn't have picked him on my in my plays. But it is what it is. Sometimes it breaks that way. But you got to forget about it and move on. And with that said, I want to offer up my plays for tonight's MLB slate first. And then we'll move on to the NBA. First up, we have a 6-player flex, and I understand that one of the prop bets have been removed off the board. And as the 6-player flex pop up on the screen here, you will see that it's Christian Javier. Got him going under 2 earned runs. And this is the prop bet that was removed off the board. So we'll just move on. I won't even discuss it. We got Yordan Alvarez going over 1.5 hits, runs, or RBIs. If you guys are not familiar with this prop bet, 2 hits, he's over. 1 hit, 1 RBI, he's over. RBI and a run, he's over. Run, hit, he's two of any of these, he's going over. He's got a good matchup against Lynn. He's batting over 400. So Yordan Alvarez he went a 0-4 last night. I expect him to bounce back huge in this game. And then I got Manny Machado going over also hits, runs, and RBIs at 1.5. Going up against Freeland. Last year, every game, he got a hit or RBI, walk RBI, run RBI, hit. He pretty much went over this prop bet all 3 times he faced, or actually 4 times he faced Freeland. So I love this prop bet for him. He's also batting over 300 against him. Then we got Mookie Betts. Had a terrible night last night. We all know that. We took his discount of total bases, and he ended up going 0 for 3, I believe, with a walk. And those 3 that he went 0 for were strikeouts. So he had a terrible, terrible night, but he has good numbers against the pitcher he's going up against tonight against Arizona. So give me him going over 1.5 runs to bounce back. I expect a single and a run scored. That's what I'm expecting out of him tonight. And then we got Julio Rodriguez going up against Cleveland. Cleveland's got. I did some research on the pitcher he's facing. This dude in the major leagues has like an 18 ERA. He's a spot filler, or I should say, spot starter, filling in for McKenzie. And Julio Rodriguez again opened up on a bad note last night, so I expect him to have a bounce back game, going over 1.5 total bases. And lastly, Gene Segura. Now this cat, as much as I hate to pick against my New York Mets, listen, I gotta make money, so that's just the way it goes. He's got great numbers against Peterson. He's 4 for 9, and he's also just known to be a Met killer. So I like him to go over his 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. So this is my 6-player flex, but honestly, it would be more like a 5-player flex for you guys. And the other actual 5-player flex I have has Christian Javier in it. I'm gonna show it anyway, in case it does come back up. And if it does at 1.5, I would still take it. Honestly, I got him shutting out the Chicago White Sox. So if it comes back on the board at 1.5, getting bumped down, I would take it still less. Or Yordan Alvarez again. Manny Machado, I already spoke on him. Mookie, same deal. Julio Rodriguez. So you can see the pattern here. My 4-pick power play, Yordan Alvarez, Manny Machado, Mookie Betts, Julio Rodriguez. And obviously, I have another 6-player flex. Christian Javier again, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, Manny Machado, Mookie Betts, Julio Rodriguez. Now, Alex Bregman also has good numbers against Lynn, so that's why I took him in this one. I just don't feel as confident as I do with Yordan Alvarez. So then my 2-pick play, Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and Julio Rodriguez over total bases of 1.5. Then I got a 3-pick power play coming up here. Yordan Alvarez going over, Christian Javier going under. Obviously, we can't play this because I don't think he's on the board again, at least right now. Julio Rodriguez over 1.5. And then I got a 4-pick power play. Gene Segura going over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Yordan Alvarez, Christian Javier again. Julio Rodriguez. So you can see the pattern. These are the players that I'm revolving around for tonight's game. It's a small sample size, not a lot of games, but all these guys have good numbers or have really good matchups. So these are the guys that I'm rocking with today. Now moving on to the NBA. Now the NBA is going to be interesting because we're going to go with first half, and then we're also going to go with just standard full game prop bets. Starting off with first half. Here's a 6-player flex. We got Jason Tatum, who is questionable. He might not be on the board anymore, which is fine because I already hedged him with Jaylen Brown on the other ticket. So here we got Tatum over his PRA, Donovan Mitchell over his points. Donovan Mitchell, I feel like he's going to kill my Knicks tonight, man. I just feel it. I feel like he's going to murder us. Trae Young, great matchup. 13 points. It originally opened up at 12.5, got bumped to 13. I still take it. I got official with 14 anyway. Jalen Green, over 11.5 points, going up against Detroit. Need I say more? Domantas Sabonis, going over his first half PRA at 20.5. Already got bumped up to 21.5. I checked. And then Kevin Durant, after having a terrible first half last game out, I expect him to have a huge game against Denver, at least in the first half. I also like his full game prop bet, 22.5, which we will see on another ticket. Then we'll move on to my other 6-player flex. Still sticking to the first half deal. Donovan Mitchell, 14.5. Trae Young, 13. Jalen Green, Domantas Sabonis, Kevin Durant, and then there's Jaylen Brown. And then we move on to my other 6-player flex. And we're mixing it up here. Donovan Mitchell, first half. Trae Young, first half. Jalen Green, first half. Domantas Sabonis, first half. Steph Curry, 28.5. And then Kevin Durant, 22.5. And then we're moving on to my other 6-player flex. There's mad plays today, or I should say for tonight. Donovan Mitchell over 28.5. Trae Young over 35.5 points and assists. Jalen Green over 23.5. Killian Hayes, he's questionable to play. He's a GTD right now. Got him over 6.5 assists. If he ends up getting knocked out, whatever, it's a DNP. Chris Paul going over 9 assists. And lastly, Kevin Durant going over 22.5. And my two favorite plays is going to be a 2-pick power play. Donovan Mitchell, 20.5 points. Trae Young, 35.5 over points and assists. And then we're going to go to a 5-pick flex. Donovan Mitchell, 20.5. Trae Young, points and assists over. Jalen Green, over points. Kevin Durant, over points. And Chris Paul, over his assists. I can't believe his assists are that low. I thought it'd be like 9.5, getting bumped up to 10, but it is what it is. You got Denver that ranks number 1 and giving the most assists to opposing point guards per game, and you're talking about the assist god in CP3. Then you got Donovan Mitchell on this 6-player flex, going over 20.5. Trae Young, Jalen Green, Domantas Sabonis first half PRA. You see it there, 21.5, getting bumped up. Kevin Durant, 22.5, and lastly Chris Paul going over his assists. Then we got another 6-player flex. I'm telling you, I'm hitting y'all with mad plays, but they all revolve around the same players, so it's not like I'm all over the place here. Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, Jalen Green, Domantas Sabonis, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. And then that's it. That's it for the NBA, man. So mad plays for tonight. We're going all in, son. I love all these prop bets. That's why I couldn't hold up on these. I had to give them all out. These are just too good of prop bets to pass up. So best of luck. I see you on the next one. Peace.